Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we peel back the layers of corporate filings to see what is really going on behind those polished press releases. Today we are diving into an interesting report from Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated. Get ready because this one has some important news about their recent performance. Before we dive in, make sure you are subscribed to the channel if you want more of these straightforward business breakdowns. Also, we have a fantastic community over on Discord, all linked in the description below. Come join the conversation. Alright, so what we have here is something called a Form 8K. Think of it as a public company's urgent news flash. If something big happens, something that investors need to know about, right away companies have to file this. It is not a regular checkup like a quarterly report, it is more like an emergency announcement. The most important date here is the 4th of November 2025. This is telling us when the earliest event reported in this document actually happened. For this company, it relates to their financial results. Now, the main reason for this filing is a press release that Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated put out on the 4th of November 2025. What did that press release announce? Well, it was about their preliminary unaudited revenue numbers for the very first fiscal quarter that ended on the 30th of September 2025. So we are getting a sneak peek at how they did in the summer quarter. Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated is the company in question. They are incorporated in Delaware, and their commission file number is 001-39825. It's always good to know who we are talking about, right? Now let's look at what's registered with the stock market. Their common stock, which has a par value of 1 cent, is traded under the ticker symbol INBS on the Nasdaq stock market, LLC. This is a pretty standard setup for many companies. Here is an interesting detail. Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated is marking themselves as an emerging growth company. This is a classification for newer companies that allows them to defer compliance with certain new or revised accounting standards. It basically gives them a bit more breathing room as they grow. They have also elected not to use the extended transition period for these standards, which means they are planning to adopt new accounting rules sooner rather than later. It indicates they might be looking to present their financials in a way that is more aligned with established companies sooner than they have to. This section is all about how the company is performing financially and what that means for their business. The core of this filing is detailing those preliminary revenue numbers. While the report states these are preliminary and unaudited, it's what they are putting out there for investors to see right now. They are essentially setting expectations even before the final numbers are locked in. This part tells us what supporting documents are attached to this report. The most important one here is Exhibit 99.1, which is the actual press release they issued. That is where all the juicy details about their revenue should be. There is also a cover page interactive data file, which is standard for electronic filings. Now let's talk about the real meat of this report, the financial results, or at least what they have shared so far. Remember, these are preliminary numbers. Since the main document is the press release, let's look at what that press release revealed. For the fiscal first quarter ending the 30th of September 2025, Intelligent Biosolutions Inc. announced their preliminary revenue results. Now, while this 8K filing doesn't contain the specific numbers from that press release, they are incorporated by reference here. We have to assume that the press release contained the key figures that the company wanted to highlight. In the world of business reporting, especially for emerging growth companies, getting revenue information out quickly is vital. It signals how they are doing against analyst expectations and allows investors to start forming opinions. If we had the full press release here, we would be looking for comparisons. Was the revenue up or down from the previous quarter or the same quarter last year? Was it in line with what people were expecting? This is the kind of context that tells us if the company is growing, expanding, or perhaps facing some headwinds. For an emerging company, growth is usually the key metric investors are looking for. If they are showing consistent revenue increases, it suggests their products or services are gaining traction in the market. Conversely, a drop in revenue could signal slowing demand, increased competition, or issues with their business model. We also need to remember that these are unaudited financials. This means they have not gone through the full rigorous check by an independent accounting firm yet. So while this gives us an immediate snapshot, there can be minor adjustments when the final audited numbers are released. It's like getting a draft of a report before the final version. Let's think about what this could mean for Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated. If they are announcing preliminary revenue and it is good news, they are setting a positive tone for the rest of the year. If the news is less than stellar, they might be trying to get ahead of it and manage expectations. Without the exact figures from the press release, it is hard to give precise commentary, but the act of filing this report and highlighting these preliminary numbers tells us that revenue performance is a significant talking point for the company right now. Now, looking beyond the immediate numbers, Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated is classified as an emerging growth company. This gives them flexibility, but it also means that investors are watching their growth trajectory very closely. Are they scaling efficiently? Are they capturing market share? Are their revenues growing at a pace that justifies their valuation? These are the big questions that preliminary revenue numbers help to answer. The fact that they are electing not to use the extended transition period for new accounting standards is also a signal. It suggests management is confident in their ability to implement these changes and wants to be on par with more established reporting practices. This can enhance investor confidence in the long run by showing a commitment to transparency and robust financial reporting. In conclusion, this 8K filing is essentially a heads up about Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated's revenue performance. It is a snapshot of how they may have done in their most recent summer quarter. The real story will be in the details of that press release, which we would normally analyze. For now, we know they are sharing these preliminary figures and that their status as an emerging growth company influences how and when they report certain financial details. So what is my take? Well, the mere fact that they are highlighting preliminary revenue in an 8K suggests that this is a key performance indicator they want investors to focus on. For an emerging company, strong revenue growth is like fuel for the engine. If they are presenting positive numbers, it is a good sign that their business is moving in the right direction. However, without the actual figures from the press release, it is difficult to provide a deep dive analysis. We need to see those numbers to understand the magnitude of their performance and how it compares to expectations. The key risk for any emerging company is the ability to sustain growth and manage cash flow effectively. Their direction seems to be towards faster adoption of financial reporting standards, which is a positive step for transparency. Alright, that is our quick look at this Intelligent Biosolutions Incorporated filing. What are your thoughts on this announcement and what do you think it means for the company's future? Make sure to leave your comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more corporate insights. And don't forget to join our Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching and we will see you in the next video.